Hi, Madeline.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing swell. I'm a little sweaty. It's a little warm.
It's really humid out there today. Yeah.
Good.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're in Oakland via Seattle.
I live in Oakland. I moved here like a little bit over 2 years ago. From the Seattle area. I guess I was living in Seattle proper, but I grew up just east of Seattle. And yes, I just quit my job at a bakery. So like all my bios online say that I'm a baker and also a musician, but now that's not true anymore.
Well, you still bake probably, right?
I have been doing a little bit of that, and I'm kind of depressed at how like bad I am outside of the bakery at baking. But yeah, I just got a new job as a piano teacher, so music all the time.
Yeah, that's cool. Growing up in the Seattle area, how do you feel the music scene compares to Oakland or just the Bay Area in general?
Well, I think that the Seattle area is really interesting in that it has an amazing music history, and like really riding that grunge train, still trying to ride that grunge train, which is like cool, I guess. But a lot of cool bands came out of Olympia. We had like a lot of our high school friends moved down and went to Evergreen. I graduated from Evergreen, but sort of like cheated and did a correspondence degree. I was never there. But so there's like great music coming out of Olympia. But I feel like everybody's so depressed in Seattle, which is like why the music is really good, but also they like don't. I'm talking crap on them, but like I feel like there's just not as much support as there is in Oakland. Like Oakland, I got here and started playing some more shows, and just everybody wants you to make things and like so excited about you making music. And I feel like in Seattle they're like, man, it's rainy and you didn't come to my show, so I'm not coming to yours. And so yeah. I don't know. That's just my impression, but
yeah. Do you find that the artists here are more supportive in that way, that they will all? Is it easier to get on a billing here?
Oh yeah, and I think that once you start playing shows, you just like immediately make connections from the first show that you play. Like all the other support bands or whoever you're playing with, immediately you have new friends to play with from then on, and yeah, it's like a web grows outward. It's awesome. Yeah. I just didn't have that experience in Seattle, but
it's just easier to network out here.
Yeah, I mean, I fell into like a group of really amazing people out of chance, and so I'm pretty spoiled. But
yeah. So after moving here, you got signed to a label pretty quickly.
Yeah, I just signed in June, and we put out an EP together. But yeah, I guess that's fast. I don't really know. I don't know how anything works. I'm like such a noob to like the biz. So I suppose so. Again, like totally, it all happened by chance. Like played a show at the Brick and Mortar, and our friend Chaz, who's in a band called Toro et Moi, was like watching, and then decided he wanted to record me, and I was like, okay, I guess. And we just made it. It all felt really casual, and I guess it did happen kind of fast, but
yeah,
it's cool.
So Company Records. So how you said he came to your show? How did that all get rolling? He just like came backstage and was like,
oh, well, he's a friend. Like my boyfriend's band, Astronauts, etc. He plays guitar in that band, and they went on tour with Toro, and the main guy in Astronauts, Anthony, plays keys in Toro as well. So it was all just like a network of people.
Yeah.
He was a friend, and yeah, it was super casual. He just was like, you should come to my studio and record, and I was like, okay. And then he had to move, so we like did it in 4 days, and then he moved to Portland, and I did some vocals for like one more day when I went to Portland randomly, and then we just kind of like mixed it. He would like send me mixes, and I'd make notes, and yeah, just kind of like postal service style.
yeah. This is all very organic and like
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, yeah. I was like, how does this work? Am I signing a paper? What's going on? Oh, cool. It's going on the internet. Cool. I just didn't know.
Well,
But
it sounds like it worked out pretty well, though.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And so he was a producer on the album.
Mm-hmm.
How, what, do you find that your styles are similar?
No. I don't think so at all.
How so?
I mean, he's like a cool guy. I don't think that I'm very cool. I think that he's
I think
like
you're cool.
Oh, thank you. He's I think that if anything is similar, it's that we like go with ideas really quickly. So like, oh, I want to try this. Okay, let's try it and record it and decide if it sounds good or not. It's like really, yeah, like you said, organic and just happens quickly. But yeah, he plays like chill wave. I think he's like the pioneer of the chill wave, and I don't know. People have called my music twang haze.
Yeah.
They're both two-word descriptions.
How do you feel about twang haze?
I love that. My favorite description I've ever gotten was our friend Juliet, who's in this incredible band called The Classical. You all should listen to her. And she's like, she came to a show and she was like, man, I dig that. It's kind of like if Loretta Lynn had like a secret shoegaze project. And I was like, oh my God, thank you.
You should print that on your...
I put it on my bios now because I'm like, I love that so much. But yeah.
Cool. So yeah, the EP, it's already doing well. It's already hit Pitchfork, already hit Stereo Gum. How are you feeling about like the sudden press with this?
It's, again, weird. I like woke up one morning. The label made me get a Twitter, which I don't know what that is or how to do it. But, so I like got a twit or whatever in the morning, and it was like, Pitchfork tagged Madeline Kenney in a post. And I was like, I'm going to go throw up now. It was just really weird. It was really weird, but it was cool. It's really cool. My goal all along is I just want to play more shows, and if all of this leads to like more shows and I get to play with people I really respect and admire, that will just be the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw that Facebook post about it, that like I fear Pitchfork, but
yeah. Yeah, it's
so
like,
true.
because they're like, no one knows why. They're just this voice that's like, oh, this is cool and this isn't. And, but everybody worships it. So part of me is like, I hate you guys. But part of me is like, thanks, I guess. Because then people emailed me and was like, hey, I saw your thing on Pitchfork. But
yeah.
And you're like,
it is truly
okay,
the popular.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to like kowtow to that power, but whatever, it is what it is.
It's a popular kid in school.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you were a baker in a former life, and you have a history in neuroscience as well. Yeah,
I studied a really fancy sounding thing called interpersonal neurobiology, which is basically just people and their brains and how they interact. But I didn't ever really plan on being a neuroscientist because I can't like sit in a lab all day pipetting things. So it just was really fascinating to me. Like I'm a science nerd, so I just kept studying it.
Why? I guess why the brain, or like what interests you about?
I think that there was like my very first neuroscience class when my teacher was like, you are your brain and your brain is you. You're nothing more than an amalgamation of salt ions. I was like, yes. Like, all my insanity is validated. And so that was cool. There was just something really comforting about that. I don't know. I think other people got really upset. They were like, no, I'm bigger than my brain. I'm more than that. And I was like, meh. Nah.
So do you think that because you understand the scientific like functionalities of the brain, that you have a different outlook on what music does to the brain?
I have never really combined the two. I thought about reading that Musicophilia Oliver Sacks book. Mm-hmm. Never did. Listened to a lot of Radiolab with Oliver Sacks, but I mean, I think that there was a portion of the studies that I did that talk about like I looked into like nature therapy, and I think that ties in if anything, to the music, and kind of like reconnecting to roots or whatever. I don't want to get too hippy dippy about it.
No,
but
what's nature therapy?
Oh, it is exactly what it sounds like going outside to make yourself feel better. And there's like actual science behind it, like stuff in soil that helps you learn, like a bacteria. It's crazy. It's so cool.
Like chemically, there's
yes,
like a...
it's
oh,
so
that's wild.
awesome. There's a really cool book called Your Brain on Nature, if you want to read that. It's very neat. But yeah, I haven't really explored the science of music, like as far as the brain goes. I just have always done it, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Do you think a lot about coming from a scientific background, and also baking is a science, where you're thinking about like the marriage between art and science? Like, do you think about that a lot when you're...
Yeah, I guess
music?
so, and I think a lot of it, I mean, the only way that I could maybe tie it in, because I think so much of, when you write songs, I'm not like thinking about like, okay, what's the formula gonna be to make this hit? Like, I don't know. But I think there is like intuitively, like when a change needs to happen, and that's an art form, like knowing, okay, now the song needs to move this way or whatever. It's all tied together.
Mm-hmm. But you don't think about it too much in terms of like, why is my brain wanting to do this?
No, if I did that, I'd go crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. I'd go way too deep, man. I'd like start doing research on like the chemical reactions and stuff, and I don't need that in my life right now.
And so you grew up in a household that preferred classic rock. Is that right?
Yeah, my mom's here. I'm going to talk about her now.
Hi, Mama Kenny.
Her last name's Lambert.
Oh, sorry.
Differentiate that. Yeah, I mean, my parents both listened to, like, my mom loves a lot of Australian rock, Midnight Oil, right? They lived in Australia in the 80s, so, like, had some cool influences. Like, I thought that everybody grew up listening to Midnight Oil until like I tried to show Derek a song, and I was like, you don't know this? He's like, what is this, honestly? I'm like, how do we sleep well? Okay. But and then my dad is just like full on classic rock nerd, and he's really funny because he loves trivia. So, like, he had the Beatles anthology. He read it back to front, front to back, whatever, like 3 times. He knows, and he's the person that's like, every song that comes on that he puts on, he's like, hey, Madeline, did you know that for this song he's got like the trivia for everything. So, yeah, I definitely listened to pretty much only classic rock growing up in the house. Like Breakfast with the Beatles every Sunday, 2 hours of Beatles. That was like our church.
Do you find that you inherently work those sounds into your music, or like those influences?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I think that, yeah, I mean, as far as sounds go, I definitely, like guitar sounds and everything, like classic rock guitar sounds, I guess. It's a hard question to answer. I think that my influences like are a little bit more modern, but my roots run deep with the Zeppelin. We just listened to Zeppelin on the drive here to pump up.
Yeah.
A little physical graffiti. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess you're going to be playing some tracks here.
Yeah.